The hall of the Grand Sphere Station echoed with the low hum of engines. Travelers from every star lane passed through the shining metal corridors. Among the steady flow of people walked a small girl named Lyra. She carried a worn case in both hands. The case was old but clean. She kept it close to her chest as she moved. Her eyes, bright and alert, searched the wide space around her. She was alone. Lyra had lived on the lower decks of the station for as long as she could remember. Her mother, Mara, worked long shifts repairing service bots. They lived in a small room near the recycling vents. Mara grew sick some cycles ago. The doctor said she needed a rare serum from the inner rings. It cost more than Mara could earn in a year. Lyra heard the news through the thin door of their room. She decided she would find a way to help. She only had one skill strong enough to try. She could play the piano. Most people did not care about piano music anymore. Large stations were full of holoshows and digital sound fields. Old instruments were forgotten in storage rooms. But Lyra had learned from a kind elder who played on a cracked keyboard in the training wing. She had practiced slowly at first. Then she learned with such focus that even the elder said she played like she had lived 2 lives. Music became her escape. One morning, while wandering near the outer ring, she heard a message broadcast from a tall screen. The Grand Sphere was holding a talent event. The winner could earn enough credits to buy the serum. A wealthy guest from the inner ring, known only as the Millionaire Judge, would oversee the event. People whispered about him. He had funded giant libraries across several stations. He was known to be strict, but also known to reward true skill. Lyra signed up with a shaky hand. She hoped they would allow an orphan girl with no sponsor. To her surprise, they did. Now the day had come. The event arena was wide and glowing with blue lights. Rows of seats curved upward like a rising sun. Contestants waited near a small stage. Some displayed bright hala gear. Some were dressed in rich fabrics. Most were adults. Lyra stood alone with her small case. She looked out of place, yet she did not step back. A tall guard scanned names and pointed contestants toward the stage. Lyra watched as each performer tried to impress the crowd with loud displays. Some used glowing projectors. Some used floating speakers. One contestant even released tiny drones that danced in patterns. The Millionaire Judge sat in a glass booth high above the stage. He watched each act with a calm face. He rarely clapped when it was Lyra's turn. The guard frowned. "Where are your devices?" he asked. "I only need the piano." Lyra said. The guard sighed and waved her forward. She stepped onto the bright stage. The lights felt warm on her face. The crowd murmured when they saw her small frame. A few people smiled kindly. Others whispered that she was too young to be in such a contest. Lyra did not look at them. She placed her case on the floor and opened it. Inside was a portable keyboard. It was old, but tuned with patience. Wires wound neatly around the edge. The screen near the stage flickered as this Millionaire Judge spoke. "You may begin when ready," he said. Lyra took a slow breath. She remembered her mother's tired smile. She remembered the hum of the recycling vents. She remembered the old elder's voice, saying that music was not sound but feeling. She placed her fingers on the keys. She began with a simple tune. It was soft. It was gentle. At first the crowd seemed confused. They were used to strong beats and heavy shows. But as the notes floated across the hall, something changed. The tune carried a warmth that rested on every listener. It was steady like a heartbeat. It carried hope. It carried the spirit of a child who refused to give up. People leaned forward in their seats. Lyra continued. The tune grew like a rising dawn. It moved from hope to struggle. It climbed and dipped, sounding like small footsteps across long metal halls. She put every memory into it, every worry, every quiet night spent beside her mother, every moment she feared losing the only family she had. The crowd fell silent. Even the hollow lights dimmed slightly, as if to listen. The tune reached a point where joy and sorrow met. Lyra let her hands flow across the keys with a steady calm. She was no longer aware of the hall or the crowd. She played for her mother now. She played for the answer she needed. Her eyes grew wet, but she did not stop. Something rare happened in the hall. The energy sensors that lined the walls began picking up faint waves from the stage. These waves were similar to emotional resonance fields used by high-level labs. They detected strong human emotion. The system was not built to react to music. Yet Lyra's tune carried such pure intent that the sensors responded. Soft lights shimmered across the ceiling. The audience felt a gentle pressure in their chest. It was comforting. It was healing. People exchanged glances. Some felt memories they kept hidden. Some felt warmth they had forgotten. Some felt hope where they once felt none. This was the heart of HFY. Human spirit touching every listener without force or device. Lyra reached the final part of her tune. It was a quiet ending. It returned to the soft sound she began with. A single line of gentle notes. Then she lifted her hands. The hall stayed silent. For a long moment, no one spoke. Even the drones hovering near the ceiling still. Then the applause came. It started with one person, then another. Then the hall erupted. The sound filled the dome with a kind of energy that felt alive. The millionaire judge stood. He had watched thousands of performances across the star lanes. None had moved him like this. He gave a small nod. It was simple, but those who knew him understood its meaning. It was a sign of deep respect. He pressed a button, and his voice echoed across the hall. "Contestant Lyra," he said, "your tune carries strength rarely heard. It reaches the mind and the heart. You have reminded us why human art endures across the stars. You have my vote." The crowd cheered again. Lyra bowed shyly. By the end of the event, she was announced as the winner, the champion of the Grand Sphere Talent Day. She received a credit card with enough value to buy the serum and more. When the guard handed it to her, she held it tight. Her eyes shone with relief. She ran through the long halls back to the lower decks. She passed the repair rooms and the small shops. She reached the door of her room and rushed inside. Her mother lay on the small bed, pale but awake. Lyra held her hand. "We can get the serum now," she said. Her mother smiled in weak surprise. "How did you do it?" she asked. "I played our tune," Lyra said. She told her mother everything. Mara listened with tears in her eyes. She placed a hand on her daughter's cheek. She had always known Lyra had a gift. She never expected that gift to carry such power. Lyra helped her mother reach the care wing. The doctors treated her with the new serum. Days passed. Mara grew stronger. Her color returned. The doctor said she was recovering well. During these days, news of Lyra's tune spread across the station. People spoke of the small girl from the lower decks who played a simple melody that touched the entire hall. Some said the sensors picked up emotional waves. Some said the tune activated dormant systems. Some said they felt lifted for the first time in cycles. The millionaire judge sent a message asking to meet her. Lyra was nervous when she arrived at the central office. The room was full of books and screens. The judge stood near a wide window. "You showed something rare," he said. "Human spirit expressed with no device and no show. It inspired many on this station. I want to help you grow that gift." He offered her a place at the Inner Arts Institute. It was a respected academy known across star routes. Many great musicians had trained there. He also provided a small home for Lyra and her mother on the mid-deck, where the air was cleaner and the lights. Brighter. Lyra accepted with a grateful heart. Years passed on the Grand Sphere Station. Lyra trained with mentors who admired her focus. She learned new ways to channel emotion. She studied patterns of sound and how they interacted with human memory. She played for groups who felt lost or tired. Her simple tunes lifted them. Some said her music helped repair damaged spirits during long voyages. Mara continued working, but with lighter tasks now. She often attended Lyra's small recitals. She would sit in the front row and watch her daughter quietly. Her eyes showed pride each time. The millionaire judge visited sometimes. He remained a calm figure. He listened without interrupting. He said that Lyra reminded him that humanity still carried strength beyond machines. Her music became a symbol for the idea that human emotion, when honest, could resonate across walls and between strangers. As Lyra grew older, she became known on multiple stations. She traveled to outer hubs and inner rings. She played for workers and miners. She played for travelers and engineers. She always carried her old keyboard. She refused offers of advanced instruments because she believed the tune mattered more than the device. Her legend grew. Some travelers said her music helped them sleep after long shifts. Some said it eased fear during deep space travel. Some said it gave them courage to try again after loss. Years later, she returned to the same event stage where it all began. This time she stood as a guest performer. The hall was full. People waited in quiet respect. Lyra placed her old instrument on the stand. She smiled softly. She began playing the same simple tune she had played as a child. But this time, it carried the strength of her journey. It spoke of hardship, hope, and the way humans rise again. The energy sensors almost hummed. The hall listened. It was a reminder that even in a universe